Alright, so I just got myself stuck watching the talking head do what they're calling a debate in these elections here. This one was for mayor. They had this guy, Chris the Tongue Young or something like that from Providence. He blahs about everything. He does remember the names of lots of buildings and the names of organizations that have been set up to finance these buildings and the fixing up of these buildings, but he doesn't really understand the politics behind how the organizations are being set up and how the people on the boards. Anyway, Chris Young remembers a lot of words and a lot of names, but he doesn't know a lot. Kind of like Mr. Solomon, but Mr. Solomon has gotten a job. The way he's gotten his job, I think, is by tossing around a lot of crap, a lot of bull. All right, so I'm watching this thing. I'm watching this talking head allow Chris Young the Tongue slobber all over who I hope to soon be the mayor of Providence, Mr. Elorza, to slobber over his ideas about fully utilizing our school buildings. Now, it's a simple concept. We have these school buildings that we've owned since the beginning of time, and we will own them into the future. This is something that we're not going to get out of. We're always going to own these buildings. We're always going to keep them up. Why not utilize them to their fullest extent? I think Mr. Elorza comes up with great ideas. But they slobbered all over it, and then when they were done, instead of going back to Mr. Elorza after Chris the Tongue was all over the thing, they gave it to Solomon. What does Solomon do? He double talks, and triple talks, and double talks, and he gives you the names of all kinds of commissions, and all kinds of other neighborhood groups that he's worked on. But we're talking about the schools. Stay on topic. That's what the old politicians don't want to do, that the new politicians are ready to do. Mr. Elorza, Mr. Tavares, Mr. Magaziner, people who are ready to stay on topic, who are ready to talk about one thing at a time, because they are ready to be challenged on that one thing at a time. Not because they have some great ammunition about that one thing, they are willing to be challenged. The old politicians, those that taught Chris the Tongue, those that were working with Mr. Solomon because he succeeded in that area, they learned how to keep changing the subject, how to keep throwing in words that nobody's going to remember, and throwing in true stories about neighborhoods, about things that have happened that don't really have anything to do with the present discussion. Mr. Elorza was ready to discuss one-on-one, face-to-face, how we should utilize those school buildings more than we are now. Both of the other candidates walked away from it, and the talking head who was running this for Channel 10 today, he did nothing to bring it back to the gist of the discussion, which is how do we utilize our school buildings to their fullest extent and give as many citizens as possible the opportunity to better themselves, utilizing that valuable resource that we already own. I like Mr. Elorza. I think he's going to make a great mayor. Thank you.